What's going on, Dope fam? Back with another video. Hope you guys have been doing well. This one's gonna be just a short little video for Bitcoin market analysis as well as Ethereum. So as you guys already may know, Bitcoin is well into all-time highs and it's looking really good on the shorter time frames. And when it comes to Ethereum, Ethereum is finally actually starting to break out on this pump. And if you look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, it's still early days, but it's looking like Ethereum to Bitcoin chart wants to break out, and most likely that will lead to Bitcoin dominance going down. So without further ado, I'm Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages, like and subscribe, comment down below for any other base native coins you want me to cover. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So first of all, for liquidations have pretty much just gone sideways really. Nothing much to say about that. But for liquidation heat map, it's actually pretty interesting. We're getting a lot of liquidations both above us and below us. So I do expect a lot of volatility to come in the next 24 hours. And I wouldn't be surprised with Bitcoin volume dropping for the weekend. There's going to be a lot of fake outs to the upside as well as the downside. Looking at the 48-hour chart for liquidations, it's looking like we actually have a lot more liquidations below us, which is obviously the late longers. So let's see if those get grabbed. I would not be surprised if they do get grabbed, because obviously with all-time high pumps like this, you're going to get a lot of retracements and volatility coming up. So let's see where we go, but I do expect weekend at least there will be a lot of volatility. For long-short ratio, I did tell you guys, look, when it comes to long-short ratio, it's actually quite bullish because people are still shorting Bitcoin, even though it's at all-time highs. So if I go back to the daily chart, look, it's actually on a downtrend for the long short ratio, which obviously just means that majority are either offside or shorting the markets. And this is really good to see because Bitcoin's well into all-time highs. And if we compare the last time we were at 110k, which was around here, the long short ratio was way above what we're at right now. So currently, as it stands right now, majority of the market is short, so 54.79% are actually short and 45% are long. When it comes to the significance of the long-short ratio and why I relay it to you guys is, basically every time the long-short ratio has been red for a while, if not just dipped briefly, it usually meant local bottoms for this bull cycle. So obviously the longest duration was our last bear market, which is pretty obvious because people were overly bearish back then. But even during this bull cycle where we had consistent doublings in price, as you guys can see, the two last times we had this long short ratio dip pretty hard. Let me just zoom in a bit more. So we had a bit of red here, printing here, and then that was actually the local bottom for our last doubling to the upside. And then the previous one was around here, which also was another doubling to the upside. And something interesting to note is we're still trending down even though the Bitcoin price is going up. So this could actually hint that 150k, my 150k target is actually too low, and we could actually go considerably higher than that. I just want to relay to you guys, look, when it comes to as it stands right now, the markets are not overly leveraged. There is pretty consistent evidence that most likely the Bitcoin long short ratio just means that the markets are really not overheated at all, and the markets are very healthy, which is good to see because Bitcoin's well into all-time highs and people aren't really overly bullish right now. When it comes to Bitcoin chart, nothing really else to say other than, yes, our parabolic third wave angle has been confirmed. Ideally for the duration of this bull cycle, I want this to hold because this just means, one, the parabolic trend is intact, and two, we don't expect massive downside pressure for the foreseeable future. So as you guys can see, as it stands right now, the biggest drawdown I would like to see for Bitcoin at the most is currently, as it stands, about the 106k region. I don't want to see closes below this because that means the trend is broken, and most likely we're going to need another longer consolidation period for Bitcoin. It doesn't necessarily mean the bear market is starting. It just means Bitcoin needs to cool off at the very minimum, and most likely this third angle is violated and invalidated. And when it comes to shorter time frames, at least, let me just clear the chart to make it easier for you guys. Just give me a sec. So delete all this. If we just zoom in on the 1 hourly, as you guys can see, we're stuck in a bit of a uptrend right now, and obviously we're sort of getting like hitting a wall around the 111.8k area. If we see the RSI right now, as it stands, that 1 hourly RSI is actually going down. So that's technically a bearish divergence. So obviously we had higher closes generally on the price, but lower highs on the RSI. So there is buying exhaustion as it stands right now. We have a clear invalidation point, and if we're below like the 110 points, I'd say 7K area, by the time you guys watch this video, that will more than likely mean Bitcoin's probably going to retrace down to like the 110 to 106K area. And yeah, so obviously cooldowns are perfectly healthy. We just had a massive pump to the upside, and more than likely that would mean alts will also cool off as well. When it comes to the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio chart, it's looking like we're breaking out. As you guys can see, we've had a nice little consolidation period the last few weeks, and we're finally breaking out. So let's see where we go. Ideally, we want to make a higher high over the 0.026 region, and that will more than likely mean this resistance area here is a magnet, and more than likely you'll see Ethereum pumping to the upside against the Bitcoin price, and more than likely we hit about the 0.02785 is my target for the short term. For the Ethereum to USD chart, it's looking awesome right now. Our base case has always been for Ethereum to break out and head to the range highs of its range, and it's looking like we're well on its way. And as you can see, we're actually about to print a higher high on the Ethereum chart, so more than likely we're going to head to the next major resistance area. And really the next major resistance area is about the 3K area. So once we comfortably get closes above this area, I would not be surprised the speed run to $3,000 for Ethereum will be very quick, probably in the next 2 weeks if we get a close above this. And that will more than likely mean the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio chart will tag that 0.027 resistance area. So let's see where that goes, but pretty exciting times, because that will also just mean base native coins will absolutely pump. And to be honest, you're already seeing from Toshi, etc. As you guys can see for the cat theme tokens at least, because obviously they're high beta of Ethereum, not necessarily just base chain. The cat coins are pumping very hard, and it's not just Toshi. You got Miggles, you got Meow, you got KeyCat, etc. really pumping, and I really do think base native coins will absolutely go berserk once Ethereum confirms its uptrend, and obviously top signals will come in most likely from my channel once we get that range high break and head to the upside. But of course, when it comes to profit taking, I definitely do recommend profit taking in green candles. I wouldn't necessarily say now to profit take, because the markets are just not overheated at all. It's perfectly healthy right now. And to be honest, even if you look at key search terms, which I'll probably cover in a later video, at least for Coinbase app rankings, Coinbase is actually ranked at like 300 right now. And the last time Bitcoin was at all-time highs, the Coinbase rank was like more like 10. So it's looking really good for the markets, because it's just so healthy, this pump, and retail isn't here yet, and we're just gonna have to wait for them to come, but they will more than likely come at way higher prices, probably at the 150K price target at minimum. So let's see where that goes. When it comes to stock market, we had another red day once again. I'm still waiting for that higher low to get printed, and more than likely that will confirm a uptrend for the stock market, especially if we get a really nice bounce off our macro uptrend, and that'll be very bullish for crypto assets as well as, of course, stock assets. But yeah, so that's all to the video, guys. If you guys liked the video, like and subscribe. I hope you guys looked at my X page yesterday. I did a Toshi video just covering the technical analysis as well as the fundamentals. And just a reminder, my handle is at Dope Oxide, so be sure to watch that video. It was very informative, and I went through all the reasons why you should be bullish on Toshi, as well as just a base chain thesis update as well. That's all to the video, guys. Have a good one. Peace.